Part 1. Open Letter to the DLP Nominee for President. Dear Presidential Nominee of the Dominica Labor Party, prior to the 2009 general elections, things were really bad for the DLP. Dominica was going nowhere, funds had dried up and laborites had left and were leaving in droves to the main opposition UWP. In fact, at a major rally in Londonderry, some ended up on stage dancing. Heads were rolling and some were nervous. Then came the savior, $10 million from Daddy Chavez, which was a grant to the Kalinago people because of the then MP, Mr. Kelly Graynow. The government, led by Scarrett, stole the money and refused to communicate with the Kalinago people on the matter, though the project was conceptualized and developed by the intellectuals, community leaders then. The use of that money was well articulated and brilliantly laid out, as it was far-reaching in its goals to once and for all start attacking frontally the socio-economic challenges confronting the Kalinago people. DLP quickly got to work and started building the Salibia Government School. They started building housing schemes, which was their campaign promise. Suddenly things started happening in other constituencies, and the Kalinago people in broad daylight in the 21st century were once again lab rats, guinea pigs, the footcloth of our leaders. You sat on the bench and said nothing, even if your name was on a letter sent to Scarrett from the committee which submitted the proposal to Chavez. Coincidentally, things started happening for you as you became more about looking for self and chupul to the community. You got to be project manager of a CDB project. Then Kalinago Development Officer. Kalinago Affairs has always been used as a laundromat to indoctrinate the ordinary with potential as future candidates for the DLP, as this department is largely an extension of the DLP apparatus. More than 90% of people from the community who ever visit this department are laborites. Then, as if by sheer magic or good luck, you flew over other hardworking public officers to be permanent secretary. Life goes on. Dominica is a nice place. No one has doubted the fact that you have done well for yourself. As the campaign manager for the DLP Salibia constituency, you have had the privilege of deciding whose names are removed from several lists to get any assistance from state institutions. Under your supervision, distribution of garbage bins in the Kalinago territory, water hose to ease up the dust problem for persons close to the road, only laborites benefited. Even food and housing assistance after Maria was largely a labor thing, as supplies were secretly whisked in the middle of the night in the community to avoid public scrutiny. Under your supervision, there were bags of unclaimed or maybe extra hams and turkeys for Christmases at your home, but yet, you did not see it fit to remember the same people that you know are living in hell in the Kalinago community. Yes, you. What happened to the mysterious cooperative which got thousands of US dollars on the promise of cheaper fish to the hundreds of Kalinago residents who now have to resort to one meal a day because of growing poverty in the community? Isn't this unethical? Are you still a lay minister? The Graynows and Cassius all ended up under your axe, but today they sheepishly follow your commands because they have now become part of the fearful club who, if not careful, you will, as you have done to others, pull the plug on their daily bread. Unfortunately, the present Parle Rep and Chief cower in fear at your presence because they know their lives depend on you. Laborites have to keep in line or they face being fired from their positions for the little it is. You serve in a church as lay minister, and this you claim as an achievement and as a sign of connection with the people. But why are the same people so hesitant to give you a better rating? Why do they associate you to greed, vindictive, selfish? Why were you never the candidate for the party that you single-handedly run their machinery of deception, bribery and coercion on the less than observant indigenous people who you claim to be so proud of? When you clarify the above, I will accept Holy Communion from you. Not now. Remember, on Judgment Day no priest nor will pastor be there to plead our case. To be continued.